2 minutes, whatever it is you pick.
That's good advice.
That you do something just for a very short period of time to start training your body to be still. Otherwise, you're just wiggling all over and you get frustrated. And again, you think you can't do it.
Right.
You know, my first meditation was 1 darn minute. I remember that. And it drove me nuts. That minute itself drove me crazy to sit there for 1 minute and try to be quiet and try to shut that dialogue off. But, you know, now I can meditate for a lot longer. And, but anyway, and the other, you know, is the mantra, which is the picking of a word. Because that's all a mantra really is a word.
And it's any word you want that's powerful to you.
It's any word that is helpful. Now, a lot of people in our culture right now like the word Om because that symbolizes that universal first sound of creation. And so it's a great one. But you know what? It doesn't matter. As long as it's positive.
Right.
You know, that you don't pick that. And you've got your imagery and healing. And then your imagery and relaxation. And then, you know, there's guides that we have, spiritual guides. So we can meditate and ask them to be present. And even have a dialogue with them, or just feel the compassion of higher spirit. Right? Because there is. Creation loves us. And so, you know, we can feel that compassion. You can have walking meditations, right? It's wonderful. Right. It's actually a wonderful thing.
I prefer that, yes.
Yeah, right.
In the morning, that's a really good meditation for me, and it prepares me for the whole rest of the day.
Yeah, and really all that means is you don't think about all the junk. You think about
And I take in what I'm passing. And
right. You let nature, you know, be your guide, really. And then there's one kind of meditation that I really like, and it's a different one than I've generally heard about, but it's called passage meditation. And when I first went to the class, I thought it was going to be some kind of like shamanic go through passages to higher worlds, you know. Of course, you know, my imagination. But actually what it is you pick a favorite passage from one of the people that inspires you, and you memorize it.
I love that.
It is. It's so wonderful. And so maybe the first week or two in your meditation, you're reading it because you're learning it. And then you start to memorize it, and you just say that passage over and over again for as long as you're choosing to meditate. You know, be it 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And it's so inspiring because you're using a passage that already inspires you. Plus, it's so good for the brain to practice memorizing. I got to say that, too. It helps your brain not...
I'm going to try that.
Yeah, heal so much. I mean, it helps your brain to heal. And so that's one that I think is really a powerful and kind of fun way. And then there's you know, doing extended periods of silence. I have a friend who just spent an entire week in silence. And she said it was very powerful. And I've done shorter periods, and it is very powerful. Because at some point, you know, you're not going to keep thinking about that list forever, right? So you actually have to go to some other type of thought or process or listen, you know, for Creator's presence with you, or, you know, just wise things that, you know, that come in. It's kind of a listening thing. Or things like a labyrinth. You know, if there's a labyrinth in the area, that is a wonderful form of meditation. And it's ancient, so it carries that energy. Even if it's a new labyrinth, it doesn't matter. You know, the form itself.
There is the corn maze this time of year, yes.
Yeah, there is. Yep.
Interesting. Keep going.
So, okay.
This is I'm learning a lot.
Okay, and, another one, maybe we talked about this, but design an affirmation and use that affirmation. And another one is chanting.
Oh,
you could pick a chant or a couple lines from a favorite song that has a message that you like, and repeat that. Just keep repeating that.
So if a song is going through your head, why not go with it? Right.
Exactly. And that, because the goal of meditation is, one, to come to know yourself better, and two, to connect with the universe at a higher level. And and the outcome of those two things is much greater peace and much greater hope, and a sense of belonging at a different kind of level.
Which are very powerful, each in themselves and together. Wow.
Yeah. And then another one would be ritual dancing. Because, you're moving for a period of time, and it could be an old folk dance even, but just dancing for a time, it begins to shift the energy, and paying attention to how it feels and what thoughts and feelings come to you.
Interesting. It's funny how sometimes we do things instinctively without even knowing why we're doing that. And so allow yourself those things. Like, I love walking in the morning. I really do. And I haven't been doing it very much since all this with the surgery and my sons and blah, blah. And I miss it. I miss it. But when it rains, if I don't walk, I usually dance. But isn't that funny that my body knew to do that?
Right.
Yes.
And if you watch kids,
they do it.
They do. Like, at weddings, it cracks me up. They will dance for 3 or 4 hours. Yes.
I love that.
And so, their brains change in there. They're in their own way are having, a type of meditation.
Right.
And a definite healing toward their body.
And so many ceremonies are based on some type of group dance, and so that makes it so much more spiritual if everybody's doing the same dance. How powerful that is.
Absolutely.
Because they're doing the same thing in their heads,
it's
too.
So true. Well, the peace dance.
What is that?
Peace dances, it's an organization, a volunteer organization generally, that will come and teach certain types of dances that are very simple and to simple music. And it's for bringing that energy up, and it's a type of meditation because it's loving music, it's positive, it's designed to create peace, and it was started to help heal the planet.
I love that.
Isn't that the coolest?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done it several times now, and it's just like, it's like magic.
I bet.
It's just the sweetest darn thing.
Probably cleansing as well.
Very.
Cathartic.
Very. Plus,
nice.
You're also with these cool people doing
right.
this together.
Yeah, what a group.
And the music is usually drums, maybe a guitar, maybe a flute,
nice.
there's simple instruments that a rattle that anyone can participate. And no one's like rating your dance ability because it's not about
That's
that,
always important,
right?
Yes.
It's about
just movement
and breathing and singing together. And
so, do you think that everybody should meditate?
I do for a lot of reasons. Because meditation, one, it is absolutely positive for the body, and people are dealing with a lot of stressful things in their body. It's really positive in terms of you can learn more easily. You're less likely to suffer from depression or other disorders.
Anxiety.
I mean, it's
I could see how that would really help.
It's great for anxiety. As long as you don't let your anxiety dialogue be what you use for your meditation.
Right.
Wipe it out. You know what I say? If my brain starts going, I'll say, okay, this is not the time for me to listen to you. I will listen to you later.
Oh, I love that.
Because, our brain wants to be heard,
yes.
just like a little kid wants to be heard.
Hey.
So, hey, guess what? This is not the time.
Right.
And it works. It's just the funniest thing, but it works. And plus meditation, prayer is a way we speak to creation. But meditation is a way that we listen.
Oh,
and so,
I love that.
So
right.
there's things that happen during meditation that are, sometimes very private, but very powerful, very healing. I've been the other meditation I didn't mention is the shamanic journey, the spirit journey, and that is very, very powerful. And it's done using drums.
I thought peyote maybe.
Well, that is another one. That is one. I have never tried that. And in South America, they have other things. But it has the same purpose, actually. The same purpose. But I've known people to have spontaneous healings with some of these meditation processes. So it's just such a powerful tool, and it helps us to evolve. And if we look at devolution, or we look at the word evolution, it is the name of the game right now.
Right, it is.
That we are consciously choosing to evolve.
And isn't that wonderful?
It's amazing.
Now,
I know it doesn't look like that in some ways.
Right.
But it is happening.
And one day, I forget who it was. Was it you that was here and we were trying to figure... Oh, no, I know who it was. It was my friend Linda. We were trying to figure out what having Trump as president was going to accomplish. And because there has to be a reason. And he is the president now, and I respect that. But I really think that it made a lot of people take a look at our society as a whole and realize...
Whoops.
Yeah. Whoa, what happened there?
What did we make that left turn?
Right. And so now people that would not have cared to evolve or looked any further have been become searchers that weren't searchers before. And so I really think that he was an eye-opener, and maybe he'll go down like that in the history books, the eye-opening president.
Yeah, the eye-opening.
The third eye-opening president.
Right. The bell-ringing president.
Because, and I'm sure that as time goes by that we will understand more of
we will.
Why.
Because he didn't just show up.
Mm-mm.
This grew in our culture, that right-wing perspective grew in our culture over a long period of time. Well, long part of our lifetime.
But we were hoping that it was gone, right?
I know.
But it's all cyclical.
But you know what? Healing has more than one layer.
Right.
And
that's a good way to look at it.
The first layer,
Thank you.
You know what? People got together and said, we really need to do something about the racial issues. We need to do something about education. We started to identify we need to do something to protect women and children. And so people got onto that idea, and enough folks gathered that we got into office and did volunteer work and whatever to create it. But that was really at the surface. We did not do what needed to happen to really train people internally to make a value change. And so they've been sitting under the surface, pissed. They've been mad because they didn't want to do that, and they hated that darn being politically correct thing. And they wanted to say whatever they wanted to. And I'd say, well, it's not illegal. Go ahead.
Right.
Just because most of us are going to think,
don't talk to me.
You can do it. But no, they wanted social acceptance with it. So you know what? They got it right now.
Right.
They can kind of... we have Nazis running around that are bona fide, I am a Nazi.
Right.
Yeah.
And that scares me so bad.
Totally out. They're out.
Right.
And armed to the teeth.
That's another horrible, scary thing.
Big time.
So well, this time in our lives, this time in the life of our country... needs meditation.
It needs meditation. Now, the interesting thing, there's so many things about meditation to say. In a city where there are enough meditators, and it takes a lot, the crime rate goes down.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that because energy is radiant.
Right.
It doesn't stay inside. It